Hi guys. Surprise. So you probably have a lot of questions for us, and I'm here to answer them for you. Um, so you're probably wondering, where is the Sports Face Club? Sure, you have may seen some of the videos that we have posted on our Instagram story and some photos on our Instagram account, but where are the YouTube videos? Well, we are currently college students right now who is at school right now, where three of us are seniors and one is a junior, and with work just keeps on coming our way, it kind of left us off track into creating content and just talking topics that we've been meaning to talk about for so many months. But I can assure you, the video that you're going to see right now was recorded way, way back in September. And I can assure you that after this video is uploaded, we promise you that the Sports Freeze Club is going to be up to date as possible. And honestly, we cannot wait to show you guys what we have in store for you for these next couple of months. So, guys, thank you for your patience. We really do appreciate it, and we hope you enjoyed the video.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
For the final topic, Michael, take us home.
Great.
As most of us know, the Las Vegas Raiders are currently under investigation for reportedly violating COVID-19 protocols.
Right.
CBS Sports said that they are currently under investigation, and they believe that the Raiders allowed a non-credentialed team employee to enter the locker room on Monday night following the team's 34-24 home win over the Saints. So it's just one employee, but when you violate a protocol for the NFL and trying to keep players safe and like essential employees safe, like this is still an unknown for all of us. Like even the scientists are still trying to figure out what's going on. And of course, there's a lot of controversial talk over this pandemic, politically, socially, and I'm sure it's been interfering with, health experts and who to trust what. But besides how people are feeling about this, the fact that it's been under investigation, and when you look at a team like the Raiders, like no matter where they are, their coach, honestly, I have mixed opinions about this guy. I honestly do not.
John Gruden?
Right. I honestly do not like him for the most part. But I do appreciate his enthusiasm as a coach, and the guy has a lot of energy, which I like. We know that he, correct me if I'm wrong, but he has gotten COVID earlier this year, and he is all better now. But now that, aside from the Raiders being under investigation, we already have an increase of cases amongst the Tennessee Titans, and both them and the Minnesota Vikings had to shut down their facilities temporarily just to avoid the spread. And Matt's team, the Steelers, was supposed to have a game with the Titans, but unfortunately that had to be postponed for obvious reasons.
Well, it's right now it's still undecided because the backup plan is for the Steelers and the Titans to be played on Monday Night Football, which is the same night that the Jets take on the Denver Broncos. So hopefully, in Tennessee, it will clear up by then, and hopefully, there won't be two Monday night games because apparently the Steelers have a record of not doing so well during primetime television. But hey, we'll see what happens.
Honestly, it is like a big waiting game. It's a big guessing game, and I know that we've mentioned like a lot of things being guessing games in previous subjects that we brought up, but like, guys, that's the reality of this whole thing. There's a lot of guessing games that'll happen. Who's going to end up where? Who's going to get sick? Who's going to get injured? It's like that's what sports is as a whole. So this still being a mystery to us, and we had to postpone a game because of this. And like the NFL, I think was doing pretty well in terms of like staying safe from this whole thing.
Yeah.
And then we see a team like the Titans get the amount of infections that they get. Now I'm starting to think the NFL might start slowly falling apart. The NBA is doing such a phenomenal job in their bubble. And Mark, you obviously wanted to say something.
what I was just quickly going to say is like due to the NFL like being so well done recently, and then these whole teams start to slowly fall apart. Like example for the Raiders, like since they're under investigation right now and they have their game Sunday. I mean, do we really think that like teams like them are going to be like back on again like before the games? Like how is that going to happen?
Mark, that is a good question. It's like we all know that there are bye weeks in the NFL.
Yeah, that is.
I'm just gonna say this: if I were in the commissioner spot, and I'd have to find out a way to like deal with this for the team that has these infections happening, have their bye week now, and whatever bye week they had scheduled, hopefully that won't have to happen, and replace that with a game instead. It's just the quarantine regulations or rules are like different for others. Like you had to quarantine for like 14 days, but we all know that the NFL happens every 7 days for teams, maybe 6 to 5, depending on when they'll have their game scheduled. But if they have the bye week after a game, they have at least over a week to make sure that nothing is too serious. And of course, anyone who is infected shouldn't be playing. But, this is where I think the sanitation, the sanitizing should really be taken a little more seriously now. And we already know that the NFL has been doing that. It's like as soon as players walk in, they have like these sanitizing routines. But
they have these masks to cover up their helmets too.
They have the mask, but also it could also be a benefit. It could also be a benefit for some of the starting players on some teams. I mean, like we already have so many star players that already got injured, like in week 2 and some in week 3. We got Nick Bosa, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, Michael Thomas, Julio Jones, Devontae Adams, and many, many, many more who is suffering from this. And Tariq Cohen, the running back for the Chicago Bears. And I feel like for me, it's not just about, the social distancing protocols and the quarantine protocols, but also like the NFL, because of that, it didn't have a preseason. Sure, they had training camp, but they really didn't have any sort of further preparation to actually give them a warning of the alternative of what might actually happen. And I feel like, Michael, like you said, if they could have a bye week early, it could really benefit for some of these starting players to get the recovery that they need. And hopefully for our fantasy teams and yours too, it would make a huge, huge benefit for all of us.
It really could. Yeah. And the majority of our picks were not from Tennessee. Like I was able to pick up Ryan Tannehill since no one else did in the draft, and I was able to pick him up. But I feel like I made a mistake because the Titans, of course, are under this problem. And because the last match that the Titans had was with the Minnesota Vikings, they also had to close down their facilities as well. Luckily, from what I've seen, no positive cases have appeared in the Minnesota Vikings just yet. But that doesn't mean that they shouldn't be careful. It's like any team should be careful. So let's just hope that. Go ahead, Sam.
Playing games during this whole coronavirus is kind of like a gamble, and right now, like whether it's the MLS, NBA, MLB, NFL, NHL. I mean, it just ended, but still, the whole thing is that like this is a huge gamble. They had to put a gamble on like what they could do, and the thing is that like this can work. Like, I mean, this is what teams in the UK. This is what the UK has been doing. They're doing like, I mean, they have like a game like every week, if there's something going on. But I don't think it's not working. I think that it's working, but like this is just going to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Honestly,
the question is going to have to be when we actually put these teams on a bye for the sake of that that this whole thing has said that they cannot play because of coronavirus. What if it's gonna be like this until like we start like that that's usually like week 17 where like we have to like look in where like that's our last game. What happens if a team is down one game at that time? Like that's gonna be like the big question. But right now it's that if they do it right, and everything gets done right, the season can continue.
All right, guys, that is it for today. We hope you guys enjoy. As always, we are the Sports
Freaks!
Club.
See you next time.